Nitro is the bolliger and mabillard hypercoaster at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. This coaster is loved by many people for its, quote, awesome airtime hills and intense helix. Well, I've been on this coaster multiple times in the front, back, and middle, and this coaster just does not do it for me. I don't enjoy Nitro nearly as much as most people do, and here's why. In my opinion, Nitro has stats and not much else. The coaster stands at a height of 230 feet, and it looks very tall. The coaster does a good job at taking you up very high, and then bringing you back down, which is a good quality, but like I said, it's just stats. 230 feet is very impressive for a coaster, and with Nitro being the second tallest coaster in the park, I give it a 9 out of 10 for height. I'd give it a 9.5 if there wasn't a coaster that's twice as tall in the same park, or if it actually did something with its height, but it's actually on the taller side of the B&M Hypers, with the exception of Shambhala, which is 250 feet, so 9 out of 10, it's a good height. Since Nitro stands so tall, it also travels at very fast speeds. Nitro has a top speed of 80 miles per hour. Sitting in the front row allows you to feel the speed coming down the first drop, while the back row doesn't really feel that fast at all, compared to a coaster like El Toro, where you can almost feel the speed more in the back row. Although Nitro is fast, it doesn't really do anything with its speed. It goes fast, and then it loses all of its speed at the top of an element, and gains it again, then loses it. Nitro honestly deserves a 6 out of 10 for speed. It's a waste of a fast ride in my opinion. Forces is the next category, and this is a good one. And by that, I don't mean that Nitro has amazing float or airtime. No. I don't mean that Nitro pulls insane positives in the helix or anything. No, actually Nitro does none of those things. I've been on Nitro multiple times in the front, back, and middle, and never have I experienced a bigger letdown of a roller coaster. There has not been a single ride on Nitro where I actually came up out of my seat, and I have never had a ride on Nitro where I actually got the feeling of hard positive cheese, even in the helix. Great Chase at Six Flags New England has more airtime than Nitro. Gotham City Gauntlet Escape from Arkham Asylum has more airtime than Nitro. Wildcat at Lake Compounds has way more airtime than Nitro. Bizarro, a B&M floorless coaster, has more airtime than the Hyper coaster in the same park. Even Gatekeeper and Valraven have more airtime than this Hyper coaster. Woodstock Express and Gemini at Cedar Point both have far more airtime than Nitro does. You get the point. Nitro has no airtime. End of story. 1 out of 10 for forces. We've clearly established that Nitro is forceless, but do you want to know what else something Nitro does not have? Theming. There is none. Not a single thing. The queue is bland with nothing in it except Snickers ads, but there was one funny joke on one of those ads. It said, "If you think that those are your fans screaming, then you're probably hungry." It was pretty funny, I think. The station is dry with no theming at all, and there were no elements of theming during the ride at all. Not even the train was decorated with anything, just the ugly colors of the coaster. 0.1 out of 10 for theming. I give it the 0.1% because, remember, it could have been named Batman the Ride or Goliath or some other cheap Six Flags name. At least they gave it something original. Nitro may only have one good quality in my opinion, and it's the trains. I love B&M clamshells so much. They're so comfortable, and if you get room, they let you have good airtime. Not like it matters with Nitro though, because there is no airtime. Seriously though, clamshells are probably my favorite restraints. Remember though, the other part of this category is how the train looks, and Nitro's train is really bland. It's just blue and yellow with the logo of the coaster on the front. I'll give Nitro a 7 out of 10 for its trains and restraints. The coaster has some of the best restraints I've ever experienced, but the actual train doesn't really look that good. After adding up and averaging out all 5 of the scores, Nitro gets an unremarkable score of 4.6 out of 10. But that's just what this ride is, unremarkable. It's honestly a little funny to me that a massive hyper coaster isn't as good as 5 other coasters in the same park. Anyways, sorry if I offended you, Matthew. Just kidding, I'm not.